I'm starting over. How to shape yourself never ends. I self-consciously choose stories with sufficient reasons for where I am in my life. It's easy to get misunderstood. It happened that the girls I met in Stockholm's nightlife as a young man thought I was circumcised because the foreskin was hidden behind the glands due to my almost continuous jerking off in my early teens. I think of life as a deck of cards. The cards that are closest to your own have a great chance of staying there even after a shuffle of the deck of cards. With self-awareness comes every violation of your own perception of what you are to look like free will. It is important to avoid being too predictable. It pays to be irrational at times. Determinism means sufficient conditions for something to happen, not necessarily necessary. If you call every shuffle of the all that can happen deck of cards a story, then it's obvious that the mix that contains the story you are experiencing is sufficient for you to actually do it, but it's not the only mix where you available. In other words, it is not necessary. The question of whether we have free will depends on how small we make the individual who is supposed to possess free will. Where is the identity that has free will? The information and the answer may come as an avatar embodiment. We make copies of the self-image in our short-term memory, but they fit images of the outside world with widely differing stories and expectations. The important thing is which we choose to communicate. In the 70s, the group Art Ensemble of Chicago chose to call their music great black music instead of jazz. My black American wife tried to get Swedes to stop calling some sweets they liked Negro balls or Negro kisses. If we fully digitalize ourselves, every rule will have to change. We could start from scratch. With no rules, there's a superposition of possibilities. If our lives will turn out better is an open question, even if we had a God to ask, which we do not have. Despite Gödel, we act as if we had an oracle that can see that we possess an inherent behavior right for every occasion. With each dance step, we leave footprints in time that are different from all the steps we could have taken. We move on, like Minerva's owl flying at dusk, with memories from where we have never been. Memories are what are missing in what is there. Definite non-beings, Hegel might have said. I once planned to design our garden according to all the rules of landscape gardening, then my mother said I should let my wife plant as she wanted to. It's like sailing. The wind also determines what determination can be followed. According to the anthropic principle, one can assume that the universe can somehow be determined based on the fact that we are here as observers. The first time I heard about the anthropic principle was when I was in Akademiebokhandeln, which at that time was on Gamla Brogatan between Drottninggatan and Klarnora, Stockholm's most sinful street at the time, sneak reading in a popular science book by Frank Tipler about a physics theory for immortality. The equations physicists have found to describe reality with are not that special. They always fit some reality, and the physicists are like the clothing salesman who finds the right garment for the right customer, or like the client-focused therapist who helps one find a suitable perception of reality. Being born in the late 40s in Sweden, I was thrown into the world like from a historical slingshot. We had then had the highest growth rate in the world for 6 decades, and everything would just continue in the same way. By the time I came to Stockholm, a daily newspaper wrote that the graffiti board at Sergels Torg in the middle of the city was the birthplace of freedom on earth. It is strange that you feel more free when you only follow the wind with full sails rather than when your own engine simmers. I was 18. Summer, city, Romshovsparken. Girls who commented on each other. She's got it together with the sun, do you understand? I had so much to learn, and my brain cells struggled to reduce entropy according to the second theorem of learning, which simplifies everything. One fine day,